Oh man, it always makes me so happy. Every single time I step on stage, I feel so much love from everybody in this room. And there's just so much that I want to say. First of all, I just want to tell you how grateful I am. It's been one hell of a year, if anybody's been following my career. It's a crazy thing when you step outside of yourself and just take a look at what's going on right now in this country. We put that video together because when I thought about BLEXIT, I just remembered a time, I always say it's a 90s vibe, where it didn't feel like America was like this, right? Like, does anybody, when I was growing up, I never felt that white people were out to get me, or black people, we had to stay in different cliques. Like, I just remembered feeling like it was American. I had like a Disney World sort of perspective when I was growing up. The families were together. It was all about families. And I was asking myself, when I started the BLEXIT movement, what happened to the black family? When I was growing up, I used to watch the Huxtables, the Jeffersons, the Winslows especially. I loved Family Matters, Steve Urkel, and that was all about how important family was. And it set our goals in a different way. I wanted to be a doctor. I didn't want to be like Mike. I never had aspirations to be like LeBron James. I wanted to live like the Huxtables lived. Look at TV, thank you, right? Applaud for them, right? Look at TV now. Look at black TV now. What is a positive black TV show where the families are together? There are none. Right now we have Love and Hip Hop. People that are aspiring to make it in the hip hop industry, people that want to be rappers, people that have baby daddies. That is, they're actually, via the media, resetting our goals. The majority of people want to be like LeBron James. This is why it's very easy for the media. They understand they can control minds, to give a Beto cap to LeBron, to give a hashtag I'm with her shirt to Beyonce. And that means what? We're all supposed to do whatever they say? Culture has taken over. People aren't even thinking anymore. It's all about culture now. And it's harming us. It's hurting all of us, especially America in this moment, because you turn on CNN and they tell you that white people, you two shouldn't even be sitting together right now. He wants to kill you, according to CNN, right? Right? Exactly. That white people and black people cannot come together. Hispanic people should be afraid. Everybody should be afraid because the evil white man is out to get us. This is not the America that I grew up in. America is not a racist country. Our media is making us think it is. So why Richmond? Why are we in Virginia? I don't know, maybe because we have this wonderful governor, right? I hope you hear that. I hope you hear that, Ralph. I'm going to call him Ralph because I have no respect for him. I have no respect for him whatsoever. And what I don't respect is that he thinks black people are so stupid that he couldn't dignify something with the proper response, right? So I've said, unfortunately, Virginia has sort of become the nation's capital for Democrat hypocrisy. What's happening here right now, this does not wake you up to the fact that Democrats do not care about racism. Could you imagine, everybody just close your eyes and imagine if a conservative, if Donald Trump's yearbook came out, and he was pictured in a KKK hood in blackface. Could you just imagine? This man stands on a stage and he says, respectfully to black America, Donald Trump says, what do you have to lose? Right? That was a really good question. And they call him a racist. He's done. He's a racist, right? You can't, oh my gosh, he's disrespecting you, blah, 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 because he asked you a question that we should have been asking ourselves a very long time ago, right? Ralph Northam has a yearbook. He's wearing a KKK hood. I don't know who was who in the picture because they were covered. You got blackface. He doesn't dignify it with a response. And this is all in the same couple of weeks that they're promoting abortions at 9 months. This is, guys, this is Satan to me. Like this, we're now at level Satan in the Democrat Party. So I want to talk a little bit about abortion because this is something that I'm really passionate about having this discussion, and Americans need to have this discussion with one another because what we're talking about right here is crazy. I can't even believe this is an actual discussion in America. I cannot believe that Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, lit up the city to celebrate the fact that you could abort a child at 9 months because it took you 9 months to decide you didn't want the child, right? It is sick. You're absolutely right. Who is harmed the most by abortion policies? That's exactly right, right? So we have tons of white conservatives here, and I've done a lot of speaking in front of groups, and they say, how do we talk to the black community? We've been smeared as racist for so long. They're scared to even knock on our doors. They're scared to say they're Republican. They're scared to say they're conservative because they've been lied on and smeared. And I said, you want to know what would be a great topic to start with? Abortion. Start talking about abortion, because 6% of the population, black females, account for almost 40% of all of the abortions performed. That's absurd, because they put the clinics in our neighborhood. They brainwash our schools. They tell us not to keep our children. And what is the result? We've had 18 million black babies aborted since 1973. For those of you that don't know, the black population growth has stagnated. We're not growing. The Latino population is going up. The white population is going up. The black population is stagnated. And you know what that means? It means that the Democrats are looking for a new voter bloc, because we're going to be irrelevant. And who's that new voter bloc? Open borders, everyone. They want open borders because they want illegals to replace black people in this country. When someone tells me to go defend illegals because of diversity, I go, are you crazy? That's like asking me to dig my own grave and then you're going to kick me inside of it. Absolutely not. Build the wall. Yes, build a wall. I love it. So I talk to the black community, I talk to the Latino community being wrongly conflated with illegals. Latino Americans are some of the hardest working people in this country. Disrespecting Latinos and telling them, oh, you have to be concerned because your brothers and sisters are at the border. No, they did their work. The people that are in here, some of them waited 10 years and paid an insane amount of money to become legal citizens. And now you're just open the borders, let everybody else in. Here's something else you need to know. When the argument that they present to you, and this is the argument they will always tell you, it's diversity. It's diversity. This is all about diversity. We should be welcoming. America is a country that's built off of the back of immigrants. Yeah, legal immigrants, okay? Legal immigrants. But I want to give you something to go back to them with. When you're talking about the fact that over 50% of all of the immigrants that come into this country are coming from the border, the Mexican border, that's not diversity. That's making America Mexico. A merit-based system, on the other hand, only 2% are coming from Africa. How about we get some Africans in on a merit-based system if you're looking for diversity? Some Africans that live in countries and they aspire to be doctors and lawyers and to have opportunities, okay? There are tons of hardworking people all over the world. Don't tell me that we have to open our borders and let illegals in, because Donald Trump is right. They are not sending us their best people. What country in their right mind would send you their best people? I mean, that's just not even smart, right? It's actually not a good policy. These are the conversations we have to start having, and these are the conversations that they don't want us to have. If you guys have read articles about me, I have been smeared as everything. I have been called anti-black. I've been called racist. I've been called a white supremacist. I've been called a Nazi. I've been called a Hitler sympathizer, I think was the most recent one. Why? What is it that I'm actually doing? I actually think I might be the most pro-black person in America right now, right? Because I believe that blacks and Latinos and every single American in this country can do it without government handouts. They want to tell us that we should be scared. We should be scared of Donald Trump. There's not been a single policy. Then ask him the question, what policy has he put in place that has negatively impacted Black America? No one seems to be able to answer the question. They immediately start fumbling and they go, oh, what about the tape from 25 years ago where he said that groupies let you grab them by the blank? Are you kidding me? I love this, by the way, when Black Americans try this with me. I was at an HBCU and they asked me that. How could you support a president? I go, what's on your iPod right now? Let me hear your music. You're offended by that? That offends you? I've heard entire Beyonce and Jay-Z albums. Beyonce has a whole album about groupies trying to go after Jay-Z. Do you think Beyonce is disqualified to be the president one day? Oh no, not Queen Bey, not Queen Bey. She could be the president. But that's what it's about. So if you understand effectively how they've been able to do this to the minority community, all in America, it starts with this. First and foremost, there are three verticals that they tapped into. The first one is family. If you want to destroy an entire neighborhood. All you have to do is remove the father from the home. A father is a pillar of the family. A father is the pillar. Everything starts with the father, the patriarch of the family. They instill the values. They instill respect. Okay? So when LBJ put into place, when LBJ decided his Great Society Act was going to implement welfare policies, what did they do? They started encouraging the breakdown of the family. The policies actually encourage father absence because they say to the woman, we'll give you more money if the father doesn't live in the home. So what has that led to? A 23% single motherhood rate is what we had in the 1960s ahead of this. Today we have a whopping 74% single motherhood in my community. Nobody's ever talking about that though. You can't find this on CNN. You can't find these so-called black leaders talking about that. That is the number one issue that is facing the black community, father absence. And do you want to know what's a threat to it? Radical feminism. They want women to be men and men to be women, and everyone has to be accepting, and bathroom science, nobody knows where it is. All of that is a mask to break down the families in this country. And when you say that, they say, you're not tolerant. You're right. I'm not tolerant of you trying to remove men from this society. I'm not tolerant of a stupid Gillette razor commercial, okay, that's saying boys should not be boys. Yes, they should be boys. Be men. Stand up and be the pillars of this society. You guys are going to get me in a lot of trouble tonight. I talk about that all the time because my idol, the person that I owe all of this to, is my grandfather. You guys have probably seen my PragerU video when I talk about what he lived through. My grandfather is the ultimate man. I mean, he is the patriarch of our family. I'm still scared of my grandfather. I take my elbows off the table when I eat. Yes, granddaddy. Yes, sir. You know? And just a little bit about him is he started his life on a sharecropping farm in Fayetteville, North Carolina, one of 12 brothers and sisters. His first job he had when he was 5, and this was in the segregated South. And his job was to wake up before the sun came up because in North Carolina, it would get too hot if you didn't get up before the sun. And he would lay out tobacco to dry. My grandfather, I moved into his home when I was about 11 years old, and he had a lot of values. And let me tell you something, it's so strange. My grandfather never in my entire life told me that I couldn't do something because of the color of my skin. He's never accused people of being racist. He never said that this is a racist society. This is a man who actually lived through real racism. And now today,